The next Brawler in Brawl Stars is going to be coming soon. Now, you'll get a chance to get him for free in a challenge that will start on the 23rd of July. And if you don't win him there, then you'll be able to purchase him or unlock him 6 days later. But today, I'm going to show you some things that Griff does really well, some places where he struggles, and answer the question, should you save your boxes for Griff or even spend some of those juicy gems to get him? So let's start off with what Griff does well. And at the top of that list, it has to be just pure raw damage. Now, Griff shoots out 9 coins, and each coin does 308 damage. So, 2,772 damage for a single attack, assuming, of course, that all coins hit. And if all coins from all the shots hit, that is a whopping 8,316 damage, which is enough to kill every brawler, except for Frank and El Primo. So in terms of raw power, Griff is near the top of the charts for all of the brawlers. Now the likelihood of hitting those shots depends on how far away your target is because the shot spreads out the further it travels. And if you want to see how well Griff does 1v1 versus every other brawler in Brawl Stars, be sure to check out my video on that. Link is in the description. The next thing that Griff does exceptional at is area control. Now, Griff has an average area control with his main shot. However, his super, that's another story. It has a massive wide fan that it shoots out, and it does substantial damage. Now, the further your target is away from you, the more each banknote he throws will deal. However, you're going to get maximum damage by using it up close, ensuring that all of those banknotes hit a single target. Also, if you're able to hit multiple brawlers with his super, you can cycle them incredibly fast. And similar to Carl's main attack, Griff's super will travel through walls on the way back, giving him some interesting opportunities to make some pretty neat plays. Now, speaking of that super, you're going to be able to charge it up pretty darn fast as well. Landing one full shot from his main attack will charge your super about 75% of the way, which is extremely fast. So that means you can be a bit more reckless with that super to add in some additional damage, knowing that you can build it up fairly quickly again. That is, of course, assuming that you hit all your shots.
So that means you ain't never getting a super then.
Touche, dig it. The next spot that Griff is actually pretty decent at is wall breaking. The best I can say here is that he can break walls. Of course, that's better than a lot of other brawlers that can't do that at all, but it does come with a downside because his wall breaking is not instant. What happens is when he uses his gadget, he's going to drop a piggy bank, and then a second later, it's going to explode, blowing up the walls, dealing damage, and knocking back enemies, but honestly, that's not what I think it's mainly going to be used for. What I think his gadget will most likely be used as is a deterrent to try to persuade some other short-range brawlers to stop chasing you. If they're chasing you, you use that gadget, either they're going to take some damage and keep chasing you, or they're going to have to stop, which means that's going to, create some distance between you and that brawler and give you a more comfortable spot where you can start controlling that area once again. Another thing that Griff can do that not a lot of other brawlers can is healing. Now, Griff has a very interesting star power that heals him for 7% of his missing health every 2 seconds. Notice I said missing health. What that means is that the less health you have, the more he heals himself. Now, this is better than most other brawlers because, well, the majority of brawlers can't heal themselves while in combat. On the downside, if you choose this star power, you'll be sacrificing some of the unload speed from his first star power, which will make a difference in how much burst damage he's able to deal, which also then in turn could make a difference in those, quick assassination attempts, which Griff is actually pretty darn good at. Now, Griff's sounding pretty OP, right? But it's not all sunshine and rainbows for Griff because there are some things that he doesn't do well, like first off, his speed. His foot speed is just normal. No movement speed boosts or anything like that. He's not going to be beating Usain Bolt in a race anytime soon, but he does move faster than 8-bit, so that's something. The next thing would be his range. For a brawler that doesn't have a ton of health, his range isn't particularly amazing. It's about the same as Carl's or Tara's, so it's not short, but it's not long. That's what she said. Now, on top of that, Griff does his best damage up close, so it's kind of an interesting little hybrid fighter support brawler that we got going on here, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on where I think that he's going to do good and where he's going to struggle here in just a minute, but I got a confession. Remember when I said he was really great and how good his damage was? I was lying. That's only part of the story. See, while Griff can deal massive damage, that's probably not how most of you are going to play him. most likely he'll be a brawler that you're wanting to like sit back and chip at others, and then use that super to add some additional damage and use area control. And that by itself makes Griff more of like a hybrid lane brawler, but he can also surprise you and assassinate other brawlers really quickly. Now, he will do exceedingly good at lane control, in my opinion, but he's not going to carry a team by himself. He's not like a gem carrier, though, either, and he's not completely like an aggro brawler because he doesn't have much health. So it's just kind of a strange little selfish brawler that runs the gift shop. And he's a jerk, and he loves money. Kind of sounds like me. Anyway, with his main shot, you're more likely to see like 900 to 1200 damage on a brawler actually in-game, and that's not outstanding, but just like Spike, you can't charge at him if you're a short-range brawler because the closer you get, the more likely the damage is going to ramp up really quickly. Another thing is that in a normal game setting, if you're like OJ and you subscribe to the mantra of auto-aim is the best aim, you're going to be disappointed, because his projectiles are not fast enough to reliably deal damage while using auto-aim. You're going to want to make sure to aim those shots and make them count. Now, the last area where we can see a pretty good weakness for Griff is something that we've touched on here, and that's his health. He's not the tankiest of brawlers. Now, he's not like super low health like Tick or some of the other brawlers, but he doesn't have a ton, so you're not going to be able to stand up to much damage. You're going to want to use his range to keep other brawlers at a distance so that you can control the space. But you can also just like camp out in the grass and surprise people. Shelly. Yeah, we're going to get there in just a second. So then, where does Griff fit in, and what game modes is he going to be really good at? Most team mode games, I think he's going to do average to slightly above average. Modes like Siege and Brawl Ball, he's going to be okay to pretty good, but modes like Gym Grab and Hot Zone, I think that he's going to be well above average, especially Hot Zone. But some other modes like Bounty, I think he's going to struggle quite a bit because he doesn't have the range of, compared to like a Byron or a Brock or a Piper or a Nani. He's like, he puts out the damage, but he won't be able to reach him. They're just going to outrange him. In Gym Grab, however, you're going to probably want to play him like a lane brawler. It's supporting the middle and holding your lane. And in Brawl Ball, you'll probably have some decent opportunities to like use that gadget, blow up a defensive wall to help out your team, maybe get a score. However, modes like Solo Showdown, it's going to be interesting. He can break open boxes very quickly, and he does well at controlling the space, as well as he has really solid burst damage for those quick surprise kills. So I don't think he's going to struggle in Solo Showdown, but I don't think he's going to be like amazing either. He'll be a solid choice, and if you're good at the mode, you'll probably do just fine. I think that the brawler that he's going to be most similar to is actually Shelly. You just trade the knockback from Shelly's super with better damage at range, and they're actually pretty similar. And like Shelly, he will be able to shred through brawlers up close, especially if he has all of his shots up and his super, they will just evaporate off the map. And that range does allow him to put decent pressure at, it's kind of a mid-range distance. So on a scale of 1 to 10, like overall score, I'd give him like a 7.5. In team modes like Hot Zone and Gym Grab, maybe a bit higher than that. Bottom line is, you're going to be able to play him wherever you want, and you'll be able to do just fine. Now, to me, he isn't the most exciting brawler. He's got good personality, but actually playing him, it's fun, but it's not like oh my gosh, I love this. So he's a fun brawler, but he's not amazing to me. So then the biggest question is, should you save your boxes for him? Well, that depends. Now, I don't think that you should bank on actually winning the challenge for Griff, as it's going to be pretty darn tough. Just like the championship challenges where only 20% of the players actually win the challenge. It's going to be the same way with Griff. It's going to be pretty tough to actually win that. On the other side, he is only an epic brawler, so the odds aren't super low that you're going to be able to get him. All in all, I think he's going to be a solid brawler that you should absolutely save your boxes for, because he's going to be so versatile across so many different game modes that you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of playing him and fitting into a lot of different team comps. But my question is, what do you think of Griff? How good do you think he's going to be? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, until next time, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out.